So being committed to doing justice, in my definition, is really going outside to serve a marginalized population. And I think that the idea of that is, how can we be better men for others? How can we go out to serve others, to help those in need? But I think more than just a marginalized population, I think that it starts with our relationship with God. How do we define our relationship with God? Do we really recognize the gifts God has given us? And once we recognize those gifts, how do we put those gifts out into the world? And how do we put it out into the world to cause some type of good? Whether it's a smile, whether it's serving the poor, whether it's going on an immersion trip, I think that that's what it means. Taking the gifts God has given you and imparting them in the world.
Okay, so if a majority of the world were committed to doing justice, then the issues that we sometimes take for granted, like feeding the poor, clothing the people that need clothing, speaking for the ones that can't speak, like for abortion rights and all that, then these social justice issues wouldn't be issues. They would be justice, and justice would be well served. The problem is getting people to commit to these particular followings or ways, or I guess you could say callings. So if you're called to be committed for justice, that means that you potentially are willing to die for that cause. And I think that's where we have a problem in this day and age, is that some people are not necessarily willing to die for their cause. And if people are willing to put everything on the line, and as Jesus says, you're willing to take up your cross, leave everything behind and follow Him, then more and more of us would be committed to justice.
Brophy embodies the committed to doing justice with our students by their strict policies and procedures that enable our students to be good citizens when they leave this place and go out into the world.
How I've experienced committed to doing justice at Brophy is I have a lot of classmates and friends that have gone on trips like the Guatemala trip and the Peru trip and trips all over the world, just doing good and a lot of community service that helps out those people in those communities, and that's what I believe committed to doing justice is really all about, and that's how I've experienced it.